We're the Woodworths, and we are building an off-grid homestead in the Ozarks of Northwest Arkansas. We spent the spring clearing up our property with our new excavator and fighting, mostly ticks, but also the weather. We're in a race to build cabin number 2 because whether or not we're ready, baby number 2 is coming in October.
Maybe Wade's little brother or sister.
There's a little tiny baby in my belly.
So welcome to the chaos. Hope you enjoy it, because that's most of what we got.
All right, so there's David. David, say hi. Oh, hi. Oh, thank you. Yes, you almost kissed me. Okay, so this is David. We finally named him. He got a human name. He looks like a David. Yes, he is. David Bear. He's a bear. He's like a little bear dog. You can see in the back there is the wood chipper. Dave and I are going to put that together today. Right, Dave? Yeah? All right, he wants to get out. He hates getting in the car. He's actually not too bad of a car rider. He doesn't get nervous. He just wants to be like right here in the center. Let's put together this wood chipper. You're stuck there now, aren't you? Okay, well, let's see if we can get him out. Come on, buddy. You got the jump? Good boy. Oh, yes. He will not get pets unless he's laying on the ground so he can get his belly scratches. He got full bath and then a permethrin dip yesterday. We pulled a bunch more ticks off him. Yes, you are a good boy. And we've determined that a leash steals his soul. You put that on him and he just shuts down. Huh, buddy? Yeah. You got the D2K power. So it's a 6-inch and it weighs 418 pounds. No, sorry, I'm bad. 363 pounds. 418 with the crate and all the packaging. Let's put this together, bud. What do you think? These butterflies are ridiculous, dude. Right? Aren't they ridiculous? Looks like an axle for the trailer part. Got the wheel. There's the chute. Let's flip that the other way. Probably sits better that way. Cool. There's another wheel. There's the big chute. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, man. That's dumb. Why would you strap the keys to right there so it can get bent? You idiots. Freaking idiots. See that? Look at that. Who does that? Put them in your little baggie or something. Nice. This may be the other, probably the feet You got this. I don't know what that is. That must be a feeder or something. I have no idea what it's for. Where can I grab this thing from? Let's see if we can put the wheels on down here, or up here. It'll make it heavier, but I'll be able to roll it, and then all I have to do is pick it up once and put it down. Yeah, make that. I think I just realized I left the tractor keys in the Festiva. Dude, I need to just like duct tape them to my body or something. Maybe keister one of the keys, you know? Dave, let's go see if we have an extra set of keys in the cabin, okay? Make sure I got my keys on me for the truck. Hold on. So we lucked out, and I do have a spare set of keys. I think from now on I'm going to leave the other keys here too, because the tractor's here. I don't know why I keep bringing them back and forth. So, we have an active leak on one of these, gosh darn ticks, man, on one of these lines here. So, we gotta get this thing lifted quick so we can get it out of service and fix it. Okay. We're not good. Quick, like a buddy, let's put the Yeah, this thing doesn't have any oil in it, I don't think. I think it has 2 different gear cases. Oh, I hate this thing. Watch out, David. Got a hole right there. There's my hole. Until I put a real hose on it.
Put a new blade on that thing, huh?
I did. There. New and improved. I won't spill all over me. Alright, our test sticks. Actually, there's when he looking for the shipping thing over it. Nope. Nope. Everything's plugged in. Alright.
He is really doing his best to get stuff done, and I think that in his haste, in his rush, he's kind of forgetting things, which I do too, but it's hard to watch someone else do it.
Alright, so fuel's on, choke on. This one doesn't have the... This one is the Command Pro CH440. That one's on here. This one has the 2-to-1 clutch reduction system. This one doesn't have an on switch. So it's saying here, I've pulled this a bunch of times and it hasn't started. I haven't even heard spark. It's been so long since I touched this thing, like a day, and all I did was put it together, that I forgot that it came with keys. And when I started looking around more, yeah, it doesn't have the switch right here, the on-off switch on the side of the engine. It has it up here on the chute. So, I'm dumb. There it is. Right there. So, we do that, she should fire right up. Alright, now that we figured it out, because we're not dumb, that's like the only instruction manual. There's probably one that you have to go online to get, but I'm not doing that. Not out here. Pretty quiet. Yay! I'm a dummy. Oh man.
This is little Davy.
Here's little David. He's only 6 months old. I'm kidding.
We have no idea how
We
old
have
he
no
is.
idea how old he is. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. You can get down now, buddy. You're just a mess now.
I'm the one that does all our video editing, so everything that he does, even if I'm not there, gets recorded and I see it later. And this week, when I was looking through our video footage, I saw stuff that scared the hell out of me. There were certain things that they were doing that scared me, to include walking in front of the chain while it's completely under load, holding up the trailer while it's hooked on the excavator, walking directly in front of it and standing there. And then some other stuff, like walking in the triangle of death under the loaded excavator, things like that.
Pry bar.
The pry bar thing, stuff that's just not safe. I think if you knew a little bit more about Woody, you'd understand why he doesn't think about things the same way that I do. Obviously, I'm his wife, I'm pregnant, I'm a lady. So I have a very different take on safety. Right before I reviewed the footage of that stuff and started editing, we had just had a conversation that morning about how I think I'm going to have to get a new double jogging stroller because they put the kids side by side instead of in front of each other, in front behind. And on the roads out here, they're so narrow and windy that I'm afraid that if I make myself any wider by using a double stroller, like the one that we have back in North Carolina with the 2 kids, that I'm just going to make myself a wider target for cars that aren't paying attention or going too fast.
2 or 3 days before that, we had an guy pulling an RV come down our road as we were backing out, Ed and I, and he missed us, literally had paint transfer on the bumper, but no damage to our vehicle, and went off the road in front of the house, jumped both culverts with the RV, somehow didn't flip it over, and then just kept on going.
Yeah. He has stuff like that happen. He's like, oh, that's crazy, you know?
I didn't say anything. I was just like...
Doesn't make you reevaluate stuff. For me, that's a big deal. Anyway, I think we should probably tell you more about Woody.
In the military, I was a special operations combat medic, independent duty corpsman, special operations independent duty corpsman with the Marine Corps. Typically, medical personnel are like the worst patients. And then you couple that with my job's really dangerous. So it's like, even when we're doing training, everything's really dangerous. So you kind of have to put all that to the wayside to get your job done. Otherwise, you will get hurt because you're not paying attention to what you're doing. You're paying attention to not doing something bad, or unsafe. That's sort of an excuse, but that's kind of the mindset. And
And obviously you're doing that with a whole group of people, right? You have a whole support structure behind you. You've got 911 on standby.
There's 2 of him on every team.
Yeah, so and typically your team's also trained up. The team was not that great, but anyway, at medicine. At least it's not as good as I thought they were. But anyway, so that's kind of why I do kind of the stuff I do that's kind of sketchy, or is really sketchy, just because I'm not used to not doing sketchy stuff, and I'm doing it by myself. So to me, it's like I got this big clock ticking in my head that's like, I gotta get this done. And so I kind of cut corners, but we're gonna stop doing that because the day that she was looking at the most recent sketchy footage, she was like getting heated watching this footage, and I showed up while she was editing that footage. Sorry.
I got a bad feeling. I was watching the footage all morning. I hadn't seen him all day. I tried calling him at noon. He didn't answer, and he was supposed to be on the way back from Rogers. And usually he'll call me back if he sees it. So by 2 o'clock, I'm at my mom's house editing, and I'm not hearing anything from him. And I just get this pit in my stomach, and I'm like, I need to go out there and check on him. So like 30 minutes later, I'm saving and getting ready to go. And he walks in the door. And I'm like, hey, I tried calling you. Like, what happened?
Oh, by the way, I just flipped the tractor, like tipped it over. I'm okay. I dove free of it because I felt it tipping well before it actually started moving. But yeah, that was kind of like the nail in the coffin on that one. It's like,
yeah.
Ding!
I told him immediately. My immediate thought was like, dude, if your shoelace had gotten caught, you could have been killed. As much as there are things out of your control in everything that you do, you can control not dying for the most part outside of freak accidents. You can control not dying, becoming a vegetable, or being terribly maimed by not doing dumb stuff out of impatience or bravado or whatever. Because honestly, it's terrifying for me knowing that I'm not always here. He doesn't always have someone else. And if something happens to him, all of this is for nothing. He tore his pec right before we left his first, what would you call that? Duty station? The schoolhouse, whatever?
Yeah, the second to last school to get into my job. I tore my pec.
Yeah. And it was right before Christmas and right before his 30th birthday, and it like ruined everything for 6 months. It wrecked our lives. And that was when we were living right next to base and right next to the hospital and had TRICARE. His income was secure, even though he was injured. So I think now having a second baby and having a lot more on the line, and him finally being a little scared again, fingers crossed, changes the safety standards around here, because I know he gets really annoyed with me for constantly yelling at him about safety stuff, but he's the backbone around here, and I can't do all this, especially in this season where I'm just becoming less helpful physically. If something happened to him today, I don't know that I could even drag him downhill. Like, we're 20 weeks pregnant. I don't know that my body could do that. Sometimes it just hurts when I sneeze. Like, it's been a rough week, and it's been a couple of rough weeks for us, and I think we both just kind of feel like we're not making the kind of progress we wanted to make, which sucks, but we're trying to find the silver lining in everything right now.
Our deadline hasn't changed as far as trying to get the cabin built by October. Dried in. Just the shell, roof, walls, that everything. But some of the schedule has changed. So initially we were going to go home in June, early June, for a week or so. And that got canceled.
Yep.
We are kind of on our own time as far as like when we want to have a stopping point to go home, because we still do need to go home and do some logistical stuff. I definitely need to get the cylinder put on that truck and some other stuff in the rear with the gear type thing. But now we don't have that like actual date looming over us anymore. A little bit safer, a little bit slower, and more methodical. Megan's been like putting in every single stick, knob, screw, layer into our house mock-up for the cabin, to the point where like we can count how many screws we need to buy type thing. That type of planning that we've never done that level of planning before. I don't think ever. Even with the barn that we didn't do that. I think we're definitely kind of setting ourselves up for success there. Yeah, we'll go a little bit slower, but I think this next time that we get a dump trailer, we're going to get a smaller dump trailer because of the terrain around here. And we'll hopefully get it, we'll have a good driveway to drive it in and out of to get rock. We'll have gotten the driveway like prepped and graded a little better, so that when we do throw down rock, it's all we have to do, periodically is put down more rock, and it's already got the right slope and angles and got culverts and all that stuff.
I'll be honest, I don't think we're gonna get that far. He is way optimistic about stuff like that. I think the best we're gonna do is get culverts in at the right angles and then cover them back up with dirt, and then hopefully get a few loads of something down so that at least the worst sections of the driveway are navigable for people that are not us. And I think that's part of our problem, honestly, is that he wants everything to be done perfectly to begin with, and I'm okay with making things work for the time being. Speaking of which, we're going to be getting solar for this cabin. We're going to call it cabin number 1. So cabin 1 is getting solar.
Mm-hmm.
That goes along with our safety stuff. We want to be able to run our Wi-Fi out here so that we can have signal all the time, because we really don't have signal in the cabin.
Yeah.
So that if something happens, even if he's in the cabin or under the cabin or whatever.
I'm on SOS right now inside the cabin.
Yeah, he can communicate with me, or if we're on the property and he's up the ridge where we have signal, he can call me down here, and I won't not be reachable just because I'm in the cabin.
And we have walkies, but if I'm over the other side of the ridge, the walkies don't work. Like it is one big rock. It's just one big rock, so there's nothing for it to bounce off of.
Yeah. I think the order of operations, and correct me at the end if I'm wrong here, but is going to be finish the maintenance on the excavator over at our neighbor's place, finish creating their driveway so that we can, and excavating part of their creek bed so that we can bring the excavator back over here and keep working up the hill on removing big trees. But while he's doing that, I'll be here and I'll be using our new wood chipper to get cedar millings or chippings or whatever you want to call them all around the cabin so that we can, for a while at least, get rid of the ticks. We're using cedar specifically because ticks can't lay their eggs in it. Vermin, snakes, bugs of all kinds dislike cedar because it has such a strong smell. I like it, so it works for us. I think that is pretty much what we're working on right now. And then maybe if we do get to swing home for a week or so that you can do the work you need to do, I can get the house maintenance done and organized, and pack up some more stuff that we really want to bring here, then we'll be rocking and rolling and be ready to get the foundation for the cabin done soon.
All right.